Hello, it's Dante here. Today I'll be reviewing, well, at least comparing. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I wanted to tell you something about the MP-12. Although it can run 24-volt devices without any issues, specifically Special Classics, but I'm not sure about the Genesis, though, or any Edwards device. But it can definitely run a 24-volt Special Classic without any issues. But for some weird reason, they both, the AFP 100 and the MP-12 both put out full wave rectified, but obvious difference, one's 12 volt and is conventional, is bare bones. This one's addressable with a lot more features. Both of them have Spectral Classic horn strobes hooked up, but for some weird reason, let's start with this one. This puts out full wave rectified, like I explained, and it's even shown in the the device compatibility document and the manuals. Newer MP-12s don't usually do this, but actually, yeah, they still put out fully rectified. But the classics on those MP-12s, well, the one my MP-12 for some odd reason, my Spectral Classics often register it as filtered DC. Let's reset that. That's not the way they should sound on FWR, but it's the way the system sets are intended. It obviously, so it should sound that way because that's the sound file for the mechanical tone, and I don't like the way it sounds on filtered DC. So shut your mouths, filtered DC heads, and screw off. This panel, a Spectral Classic, would normally register it as FWR, as it would distort the horn completely, as I'm about to demonstrate. I have tape over the horns because it's obviously getting laid out, and I don't want to have to deal with trouble. So yeah, so for the AFP 100, I got the P2475 RLZ. So in case you're wondering what happened to my other Xenon P2475 RLZ, I wanted to get that clear. I gave that one to Jimmy 06, and he's enjoying it pretty well. I hope he still is. So. Notice how different that sounds, but it doesn't make sense why. This is what happens when a Spectral Classic fully registers FWR power. So, I don't know if it's the filtering capacitor for the zones on this on this panel. Excuse me, I almost said device part. Pardon that. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what happened, but yeah, cut the video. So if there's anybody that could explain that to me, because now it's starting to get me to think that some 12 volt panels, or at least some models that put out FWR, some of the, especially some newer ones or either older ones, I don't know if it's kind of hard to say, but the device compatibility document makes it clear that this, in the manual, makes it clear that this puts out FWR. For some odd reason, the spectral registers as filtered DC. So is there an explanation for that? Because David Red David, aka formerly known as SafeMan4202, he has two of these, well, newer versions, in his in some of his classics registered as FWR on his. I don't know why that is. If anybody can explain that to me out in the comments or whatever, Discord or Instagram, whatever it's called, DMs, that would be much appreciated.